Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States. That's midday if you're in Australia or 1 AM if you're in the UK. Remember guys, if you do miss the live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking on the videos tab on my Twitch page, or you can go to my YouTube channel, which is, you know, the YouTube URL with the /PhilDoes3D on the end. Smurfberry, welcome to Stonks Live with Phil. And Hellforge, it's good to see you guys, and thank you Hellforge. Remember, if you want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord server and become a Phildo, click that link Hellforge has just popped into Twitch chat. There's a section on the Discord server where you can show off your work in the gallery, and there's also a section where you can link to your portfolio if you so wish, as well as other helpful channels such as art help and advice and tutorials and tips and all that sort of good stuff. Remember too, if you're watching this back on YouTube at any time, or on my Twitch channel as one of my past streams, you can join the Phil Does 3D Discord server at any time. Just go to the About Me section of my Twitch channel, and in the panels down the bottom, you'll see a blue graphic that says Join the Phil Does 3D Discord server. Just click that, and you can get an invite link to join. We're going to be working on the game The House in the Hollow, which you can wishlist now on Steam by clicking that link in Twitch chat, or again by going to the panels in the About Me section of my Twitch page. That'll take you to the Steam store page where you can wishlist the game. We're working on the kitchen for that game today. And my website, I keep forgetting about that. Yes, if you want to know who I am and what I'm all about really, you can go to my website. So it's just phildoes3d with a .com on the end, or that link that has just been popped into Twitch chat. Good morning to you guys. I hope you're well, and I see that you guys have been posting some stuff in the gallery, so I want to show that off toward the end of the stream. We've got some new stuff from, well, Sniper Girl posted some photogrammetry that she's worked on. Smurf is posting some UV mapping and he's whinging about UV mapping not taking up the whole space of his 0 to 1. And as Euro suggested, Smurf, as long as you keep your texture to a power of 2, so you can go 2048 by 1024 or 1024 by 512, doesn't have to be square. So if you can't pack your UVs into a nice square and they're only taking up the bottom half of your square, then you can always change your texture map resolution that way, but keep it a power of 2. Modern game engines, generally you don't need to keep it a power of 2 anymore, but it's still good to do that because it just helps to speed up the game engine when it does its calculation. If it can work on a power of 2, it's a little bit faster than the game engine trying to work out a texture that's not a power of 2. And by a power of 2 I mean 2048 by 2048. Or 2048 by 1024, that sort of thing. So it's divided by a power of 2, divisible by a power of 2. Gary Roberts posted a nice piece of work he's worked on as well in UE4, which I'll show, and so has Wax King. So we'll show those off. Sniper Girl, you're subscribed for 24 months in a row. I don't know if she's in the... Oh, she is in the chat. Sniper Girl, thank you for the subscription. You are awesome. I really do appreciate it, guys, when you sub to the channel. So thank you, Sniper Girl, for 24 months. Man, you guys have been following me for so long, and I've been streaming for so long. It's good to see you, Sniper Girl. Smurf says, I'm so triggered. Okay. Smurfery says, has anyone in here done a rectangle in Substance? What do you mean? You mean a rectangular texture map? Or? Sniper Girl says, no, not yet. Smurf says, I just googled it and there was like nothing except one guy from Gearbox complaining that stretching murders performance in Painter. You know, I haven't either. Every time I've done a texture map in Painter, a Substance Painter, it's always been square. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever tried to do a rectangular texture map in Substance Painter. Sniper Girl says, nope, I'm not here. You're welcome, she says hi in chat. Yes, well, hello to you guys too. I hope you're all well. You guys in the US have just had your big Super Bowl, haven't you? I don't really follow sports, but we all hear about the Super Bowl. So it's gonna grab a quick drink. The Super Bowl. Smurfberry said. Sniper Girl says, I'm good, and we did. News to me. Yeah, I don't follow sports at all. I mean, that's sacrilege coming from Australia where I live because we're a huge sporting nation, but I've never really been in sport. Sorry. Smurf says, John Madden intensifies. Yeah, so Dave, I'm assuming you're talking about that footballer star in the US that played in the Super Bowl and part of the team that won. Yeah, he's been on stage. Is that the guy that they made fun of on South Park as well? When they were trying to get his poo? Anyway. Madden was a coach. Oh, okay. Who's the big star, like the footballer star? He's quite old. He's like 43 or something. I don't know. But they all rave about him because when he joined the team, they all started winning. And it's the guy that they make fun of in an episode of South Park. They're trying to get hold of his poo. Anyway, we shouldn't go there. So, yes, we are going to be working on the House on Hollow game, which we're going to work on the kitchen for the Art Nouveau building, which is in that game. Smurf says, and he had the EA franchise named after him. Oh, okay. That's why the name is familiar to me, Madden. Sniper Girl says, no clue. You don't watch sports, neither do I. I think Smurfberry says, yeah, look, I don't watch sports either, so. Could be anybody. I wouldn't know them from bar or soap. Yeah, well, I'm not going to go down that tangent. I've complained to my friends all the time about how much sports people get paid. When people like doctors and nurses and, you know, cleaners get paid virtually nothing, and just how out of whack that all is. But I'm not going to do that. Phil's going to be good. He's not going to go down that rabbit hole. Alford says, how are you doing? I'm doing really well, thanks for asking. I hope you are too. Yes, no, I'm doing really well. Managed to fix the black screen issues I was having with the PC last week, as you guys know. Basically, the graphics card was... the NVIDIA driver was crapping out with a black screen for 6 or 7 seconds while I was working. It happened twice, once just before I started the stream and once just before I ended the stream. But I seem to have fixed that, fingers crossed. Anyway, it hasn't happened since I DDU'd the driver, so I display driver uninstaller. I use that and reinstall the graphics driver in Windows. I updated the BIOS on my motherboard to the latest version, and I turned on the XMP memory profile in the BIOS, and since then, touch wood, it's all been good. So, yep, I'm good. Sniper Girl says, what I know about football is a bunch of grown men throwing a ball back and forth down a field. Pretty much me too. That's all I know. Sniper Girl says she feels the same way. Yes, hi to you as well, Hellforge. Yeah, so I don't like sports people being paid millions of dollars and cleaners and nurses and people like that being paid nothing. Because I think they contribute much more to society than a footballer or any sports star does. Tennis, whatever it is. We've got the Australian Open happening here at the moment, the big tennis thingy that happens every year. And we've had 2 incidents of the human malware escaping from what we call quarantine hotels. So basically, all of these international tennis players get put up at I think it's the Grand Hyatt here in Melbourne, in the city. And we've had 2 instances of the human malware escaping by security guards from that hotel so far, just in the last couple of weeks. Because we've gone like nearly a month now without any cases in Melbourne at all. And you guys know, because I was talking about it while I was streaming, that we were in lockdown for 3 months. So people that live in Melbourne do not want that to happen again. So I think it's really silly of the government here to be allowing an international tournament like the Australian Open tennis tournament to be happening during the middle of a pandemic. But anyway, I'm not in charge, so I get no say. Abigail says, made the same argument as well. Yeah, it is terrible. Sports people get paid too much. They don't contribute anything to society at all. I know a lot of people like sports and they like watching sports and they like playing sports, and it's a healthy thing to do. I get all of that. But they don't need to be paid $1 million to do it. Come on. Anyway, I'm sure I'm going to alienate all of my sports-loving viewers by saying that, but sorry. Okay, let's jump straight into Mac, shall we? So, we're going to finish UV mapping this kitchen up. Now, I've just noticed here that we haven't done a pack on this main cabinet, so let's do that first. Sniper Girl says, you're sorry, but I'm not. Okay, well, I have to say sorry, don't I? Okay, let's throw down an unwrap UVW and repack the UVs. I want to start by, this is going to be interesting. Let's repack them first and then I'll adjust the angle on the countertops here. So basically, I want the countertops to be nice and straight. I'm just going to turn off angle snap so I can get a bit more control over this. And then we can repack it again. Now these ones, I'm pretty sure, oh, okay, they're down there. Right. All right, let's see, where are these ones? They might be on the inside. We probably should straighten them out as well, I think. Yeah. Sniper Girl says, found a guide for shooting grass for photogrammetry. Definitely didn't take nearly enough photos for it. Yeah, and again, you know how I linked in the Discord, I sent you that image of the coded targets. They can really help too with things like grass. The problem is it's really hard for the alignment stage of photogrammetry with things like grass because grass is pretty much the same. Each blade of grass sort of thing is the same, so it's hard for the software to actually do the alignment stage. And just popping down some coded targets on the ground around the section you're photographing will help with the software doing its alignment. You don't have to do anything special, just that sheet that I sent you, that graphic, just cut out one of those little coded targets each, stick them to a bit of cardboard or something that won't blow away, and just pop them on the ground or even on a little flag around the object that you want to photograph. Either that or try and angle the photo so you get some background image in the photograph. That way it'll help the photogrammetry software to do the alignment stage on the photos. But I'm glad you found a tutorial. Generally you don't, things like grass, I wouldn't generally use photogrammetry for that. I'd use something like SpeedTree if I needed that sort of 3D model in my scene. Yeah. Because it's the same with trees. Like when you're trying to do photogrammetry on a tree that has leaves, we're not talking the trunk, we're talking like the actual whole tree. You're going to find that that's going to be a problem too because the leaves are always moving in the wind, and you're always going to get a blur on them. Even on a completely still day, the leaves are never going to be completely still, and that's a problem for photogrammetry. And yes, a lot of photos, no matter how many you think is enough, take more. Is always a good idea. You know that cross that I did that's in the study of the building we're working on? That I took like 250 photos for the cross, just for that cross. So yeah, you always make sure you can never take too many, put it that way. The only reason it could ever be a problem is memory on the computers, because the more photographs, then the more memory the computer's going to use. So you'll only ever run into a memory issue by taking more pictures, but more pictures is always good. Sniper Girl says, so definitely didn't take enough photos and didn't shoot the pictures right. Sniper Girl says, yeah, I know. What do you mean you didn't shoot the pictures right? She says, we'll definitely give that a try. Have to wait until the white stuff goes away. She's talking about snow. Sniper Girl says, I'm talking about the actual grass surface. The grass where wet. The grass was wet due to the melting snow, and it was all very much due to that. Yeah, look, and again, I've mentioned to you guys before, photogrammetry is not good for reflective surfaces. So like car paint, water, which of course, if the grass is wet from snow, that's water. That photogrammetry is always going to have a real problem with that. It doesn't do that sort of image well. Like, you can get around it with reflective surfaces by putting, you can dust them with like talcum powder. That'll help the photogrammetry software to actually get the model created correctly. But it's always notorious for having a problem with anything reflective. I see, I didn't even think about the snow because I'm in Australia in the middle of summer here and we don't get snow anyway, so it didn't even enter my mind that it could have been a water thing. Sniper Girl says, wasn't reflective, hard to describe. We'll post one of the pics in Discord later. Okay, cool. Yeah, but yeah, again though, anything to do with photogrammetry, if it's like a highly reflective surface like car paint, glass, it's going to have a problem with that sort of image. Generally for that sort of thing you use LiDAR or something, use a laser. Or you can dust it, like I said, with something like talcum powder, that will help as well. If you've got no other option. Just going to turn off angle snap again so we can get these straightened out. I think that's all of it. And we're going to get Max to do a repack. We're going to fill holes, rescale, normalize but not rotate. There we go. Now our UVs are all nice and straight. And again, I'm just double checking the others to make sure they're okay as well. And they look pretty good to me. Alrighty, let's do a quick save just in case. And we're going to work on this cabinet now. Now there's a couple of things I wanted to do. Remember we had to fix this top table bench top last week? I think that's sort of where we finished the stream last week, was when I recreated this bench top here, fixed it up. Sniper Girl says, we'll post a pic later, processing a scan and would have to rescale or downgrade the quality in the photograph to post the image in Discord. Yeah, I think there's probably a size limit on the Discord. So you'll see on this we've got a bit of a chamfered edge on the countertop. Which I don't think we have here because we remade it and I didn't get around to chamfering it, so let's do that. I'm just going to go into isolation mode. And do I have chamfer here? Did I forget to put it as a option? Looks like I might have, okay. This will be interesting. I'm just going to up the number of segments a little bit. If this automated tool doesn't work, then we will we'll do it by hand. It doesn't really look like I'm getting the look that I want from this, so I'm actually wondering if I should remesh it. Let's try this first. Yeah, I knew you were going to be a pain. I might try remeshing this, I think. We'll see what Max's new remesher does. So I'm just going to make a duplicate of it just in case I mess something up. It was 10 megabytes. Is that the limit, or is that how much it was for the one image? Let's try retopology here. We can do it. Well, we can always do a reduction after the fact. So I'm going to up this from 5,000 to, we'll do 20,000. I'm just wondering what it's done there. Go down to 4 on tolerance. Let's try 0.7 on adaptivity. Okay, let's try 0.2 on adaptivity. Let's try 0.2 on regularize. Trying to work out what it's doing here.
Are you ready?
That looks like an overlapping poly to me. Although it could just be something to do with the normal. Let's see if it is. Yeah, I think it's just a normal problem. Let's try a chamfer now. I've really got to put it on a quick key because I use it quite a bit. Let's do that. What don't I use? A lot. Actually don't tend to use polyselect very much. Yeah. Maybe we'll swap it with the bend modifier. I don't tend to use the bend modifier a lot either. So we'll swap those ones around.
Are you ready?
The shape of this is very strange, so it's giving the program a little bit of a problem. Smackberry says, why are you making your countertop hairy? Nobody wants hair on their counter. No, they don't. Let's try unifying. No. Wi-Fi is not doing it for us either. I'm doing a reset. This is why we did this on a copy and not the original, just in case. I'm going to see if I can do a bit of poly reduction on this and see if we can clean it that way. We don't need to keep the textures because it's not textured up. I do want to merge the verts though. Sniper Echo, hey, it's good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Hope you had a good weekend. I didn't know that we're going to be able to get away with doing this way. Seems just to be the one side of it too that's causing an issue. So I think what we might do is see if we can do this a different way. So we're going to remove that one. We're going to duplicate this one again. Let's see if we can't do it like this. So I want to remove those. No, this is going to prove to be quite the challenge. Smithbury says I'm full, the sugar is kicking in. Von Buki! Hey Von Buki, hope you're well, hope you had a good weekend. Von Buki says, have you seen this trailer or even watched Netflix's Space? I have watched Space Sweepers, yes. So much Korean CGI, some actually good. You know I like my eye candy. I have. I watched Space Sweepers over the weekend on Netflix, actually. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, the effects in it weren't bad. I was impressed. Yeah, the story was interesting. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was interesting. But yeah, no, some of the effects that they did were quite nicely done. So yeah, if you want to kill an hour and a half and you've got Netflix, I recommend Space Sweepers. It's a good escape for an hour and a half. If you like spacey things. And being South Korean, has an interesting storyline. So there are a lot of subtitles, I have to say, because it is in Korean. So it's strange, actually. It's a strange movie because there are parts of it where people speak English, and then the main crew of this ship actually speak Korean. So, but yeah, it's a strange mix of languages. There's Russian spoken in it. There's all sorts of languages spoken in it. That topology, yeah, look, I know. I'm trying to work out what's going on with this. Von Boogie says the dub version is actually good. I didn't watch it. I didn't know there was a dub version. I watched the version with the subtitles. I'm just trying to work out the best way we can do this. I hate these counters. I really do. These countertops in kitchens, I really hate them. You know what I might try doing with this one? We might try doing a quadify on the mesh. Don't you crash on me, Max. Don't you crash. Oh, Max. I don't like it when I see the spinning blue wheel in Max. It's okay, we haven't done any work. We did save it, so that's fine. when we adjusted the UVs. So. You are going to crash, aren't you? Oh, Max. It's probably because I'm using a quantified mesh and I'm working in an edit poly. Smurf says, bro, I had a static discharge and my computer hard locked like an hour ago. Yeah, Max is probably not going to recover from this, so we're going to do the 3-fingered salute, Control-Alt-Delete. And I'm just going to force close Max. And let's open it back up again. Oh, Max. You're working my last nerve program. So you had a static discharge and your computer hard locked for like an hour, like an hour ago. Well, that's no good. Come on, Max, you can do it. We did do a save, so we lost no work. Yeah, good. Oh, this countertop, it's going to be the death of me. Let's isolate it, let's make a duplicate of it again, and let's see what we can do. If it doesn't want to behave itself, then I was just trying to work out the easiest way for me to fix this without having to revert to using a spline, but I don't think I can. I think I may have to spline it. Smurf says at least your computer is still running, and that does suck, as Snappy Girl says. Smurf says, have you considered not having a countertop? Might look a bit odd in the kitchen without a countertop. There are a couple of things we can do here. I think trying to repair this really weird shaped mesh, it's probably going to prove to be a bit too much more work than it's really worth, to be honest. Yeah, they are kind of needed, I agree. Countertops on a kitchen counter, kind of needed, yeah. Let's see if we can't spline it. So I'm going to start. Where am I going to start? I guess I'll start here. We'll see what I'm doing in a minute. I'm basically just creating a spline in the shape of the original counter.
Tell me where I belong. I've been searching all night. Walking these streets, it's a maze at midnight. Been talking to you, yet those days have gone by. I gave you a chance to treat me right.
Okay, now let's go into the modifier and just modify it a little bit. Make sure it's actually lined up.
It's a mystery what awaits. Oh, it's a miracle life. It's a miracle day.
Doesn't matter if you're a little bit out. We've got a better curve there than we had here anyway.
It's a miracle day.
long as we get it relatively the same. Right. Actually, let's just move our spline out a little bit. Snappy Girl says, how dare it not be perfect? I know. Now we're just going to do an extrude. Just going to make sure I get the thickness correct. Bring it over.
It's a miracle life, it's a miracle day.
1.45. Probably 1.49 maybe, 1.48. Well, let's try 1.47. That should be good. Yeah, Sniper Wrecker says to Smurf, that sucks, mate. It does suck. Did that really happen? You get a static discharge and it froze your PC. That's pretty bad. I'm now just going to... Smurf says, Zero stood up and the computer hard locked. Man, that does suck. Yeah, that's static electricity and PC electronics, they don't mix well, do they? I'm just going to create a box in the shape of our sink here. And let's just move it up. And let's just line these two back up again. I'm just going to freeze this one in the background so I don't accidentally select it. There we go. And so I can move this one over this one. And I can do a boolean. Actually, before I do a boolean on this, I might actually tempt fate and do a quadruply mesh. So I'm just going to do a save as. We'll do a revision, a next revision up. So instead of 9, we'll make it 10. And I want to do a quadruply on the mesh again. I just don't trust Max. But we did a save, so let's give it a go. There we go. This one quadruplied 8K. I'm going to quadruply it to 2. Now I'm going to do a boolean. I just wanted to quadruply it so that we had more verts for the boolean to work with. The more vertices with the boolean, the better. It just helps it along a little bit more when you're doing a subtraction. And we're going to select that. And now we're going to collapse it back to an edit poly. And now we can move it off. Alright, now let's try doing a chamfer again now that we've cleaned the mesh up a bit. Man. So we're just softening the edge up a little bit. Just like that. So now we can delete this one. This was our original. I'm just going to call this underscore orig for original. This is the new one. It's a different color, so we know it's the new one. Let's just move that into position. And the original, we can probably delete. Let's just make sure our color material is the same. And now we're good. But that's basically how the countertop was created to begin with. It was just originally using a spline. Just meant we had to remake it, that was all. Good. Let's attach it to the rest of the counter. Good. Let's do a quick save. And we're going to send it to Rhizome. So let's open up Rhizome. We're at Edit Poly, good. Must remember to sit back. I tend to, as I work, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I tend to get closer and closer to the screen. I don't know why I do that. All right. Let's find our model. Again, this is having a problem here with this, so I'm going to do this one manually. So let's close this down. And we're going to export it to the desktop. And we're just going to call it anything. And we'll do Rhizome manually.
You wait for a time to escape all your demons. Show me a sign of life.
Okay, let's go into sub-object mode and UV map these bits up. We should be able to do all of the side bits at once. Program should be able to handle that without a problem. Are there any rectangles and squares? Sniper Girl says, so many faces on that mesh that you will never see bad fill. You're probably talking, are you talking about the backing here and here? We need those because when you open the cupboards, we don't want to be seeing the wall. I'm assuming that's what you mean. Because remember, these are cupboards, so if we don't have polys on the inside, when we open the cupboard in the game, it's not going to look right. You saw the original model. The back sides were never modelled in because generally when you're doing a render for ArchViz, you don't have open cupboards and stuff, so you don't need to model the back of them in. But for a game, we do. We could probably remove the bases though, because that's actually going to be on the ground. So like this bottom poly through here, these polys, we could remove those. Sniper Girl says the back faces against the wall and the top faces bottom faces. Yeah, you're talking about here. Yeah, that's true. We could remove just the back faces here. Yep, and here. because this is going to go up probably in the corner of the room. And we could also remove the ones down the bottom here. Yeah, no, that's true. We could do that. But I don't think, because they're just rectangles, they're only really going to be using probably 2 triangles. So we're not going to save a huge amount by removing them. But we could. You could. And generally, if you're making a game, you probably would, I guess. Depending on what your poly budget was and how strict they were at the studio you're working for. She says against the floor and the countertop. Yes, no, that is true. You could. I probably wouldn't remove those just in case the player crouches, but we could certainly remove those. And we could remove those, and we could remove those. Yeah, there are polys here that could be removed, for sure. We could probably even end up removing the back faces on these boards here as well, because that's not a section that opens up, so we could remove the back faces of that one and that one. Probably not these, because there are cupboards there. Or these. That's what I want. I haven't done a poly reduction on this yet either, so I'll do that after I've done a UV map. Now comes the fun part, the actual sink. Let's see how we do here. It's one of those weird shapes. I'm just going to... Oh, I see. Looks like we might have a bit of an issue with the poly here. With the... yeah, it looks like it's split. Abigail says here too. Android Lust, hey, it's good to see you, Android Lust. Hope you're well. I hope you had a good weekend. Hey to you as well. Yeah, how you doing? Again, I know you guys have posted work in the gallery and I want to show it off, and I will toward the end of the stream. What have you posted here, Smurf? Left side is with the main hull taking the full length of the texture, right side is the above UVs. Cool. So I'm just trying to work out how the best way to fix this piece here now that I've exported it outside of Max. I think what we're going to do is, before we tackle the sink, we're going to save this. And we're going to jump back into Max. And I'm going to import that one we just saved, which will be this one here. And I have a feeling, did it not import because we didn't rename it? Yeah, it didn't. Okay. We're going to call this kitchen counter old. And let's try importing it again. So it's pasted basically in the same spot as the other one. So that's the old version there. That's the new one. So let's delete the old one. If I do an unwrap on this, it should have our UVs. It looks like a mess because it's repacked them. And I'm just going to assign that checker pattern. We haven't done the sink yet, so the sink is not UV mapped correctly. But I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to separate the sink out. So I'm going to collapse my stack, turn it to an edit poly, and we're going to remove the sink from the rest of the model. I'm just going to detach it. We call it sink. And I'm going to isolate it. And we're going to go into vertex mode. I think what I might do I think I'm going to see if I can do some poly reduction on this to fix that problem there. No, I can't get it down enough to fix it, so what I'll do is we will see if we can't do it this way. All these fun little problems you run into when you're doing 3D. That's what makes it challenging though. It'd be boring if it was too easy, wouldn't it? Android Dust says I'm late. That's how I'm doing. Oh, that's okay. You got here in the end. That's the important thing. Navigel says, how could you? Android Dust says, not going to lie. This week went by fast. It's only the beginning of the week. Hasn't got anywhere yet, Android Dust. Sniper Girl says, this might be sacrilegious, but downloaded a trial of Metashape. And even though it's much slower than reality capture, thinking it does a better job. Well, I actually haven't reinstalled Metashape yet, and I haven't used it for over 12 months. I've tended to stick to reality capture because I like the speed of reality capture. So I haven't actually compared the results of the new version of Metashape because I know that they have improved it quite a bit. This is Agisoft Metashape. So yeah, I'll have to give it a go. So you reckon you like it better? It won't. I don't think they've included GPU processing, but they may have, and I will have to check it out. Android Dust says true. Smurf says that's interesting. I thought your screenshot of the tree trunk in Discord looked better than everything I've seen from Metashape. Yeah, I want to show that tree trunk again. I'll do it at the end of the stream. She took them with the new lens she purchased from Amazon. She did the tree trunk with using the new lens. So did you do the tree trunk? Is that Metashape? Or is that reality capture? Yeah, the tree trunk, Sniper Girl. Was the tree trunk done in Metashape or in reality capture? No, that's reality capture, okay. Smurf says, although the last version of Metashape I tried was 1.51, so maybe it got better. Yeah, I think they're up to like 1.64 or something at the moment. I think, don't hold me to that. I tend to use reality capture and not Metashape, but yeah, I think I do know that they've made a lot of improvements with the new versions, so I just want to see if this will actually work to my per poly. I can't remember with this plugin whether it yeah, I don't think it does work per poly. No, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. No, okay, that's fine. We're just going to do a brief detach here so that I can just select the middle, and actually I just want to, I'm wondering whether I should, yeah, I probably should detach that as well so that we can select this and we can do an attach. Oh, actually, before we do that, let's do a crunch, a poly crunch on just this bit. Keep merge verts. We don't want to keep the textures because it isn't textured. Actually, I am going to do a keep textures so I can see when it fixes that problem there. It's not really going to work for me. You would be difficult, wouldn't you? Sniper Girl says it does have GPU processing. Not, she says reality capture. She's talking about Metashape, Agisoft Metashape having GPU acceleration. I knew it always has, but only for part of the process, unlike reality capture, which uses the GPU for much more of the reconstruction. Agisoft Metashape used to just use it for things like the to get the cameras aligned, for camera alignment, but they may have changed that with the newer versions. Like they may have improved it so it uses more of the GPU throughout the entire process now. Sniper Girl says, I scanned some sidewalk bumps and it had a lot of holes. Reality capture didn't do nearly as good a job in filling them, since the same was true for something else I scanned. Holes in the mesh. I'll have to check it out again then, because I do have a license for Metashape. I just don't have it when I built the new computer, I didn't reinstall it. I only installed reality capture, but you guys know I use context capture as well. I'm going to have to reinstall that at some stage too. No doubt. I think actually what I'll do here is, instead of trying to use that, I'm going to open up Weld. If I can find Weld. I'm going blind. I'm going to select the verts, open up Weld. Yeah, well, Weld is not. I might go to 0.06 on the Weld. I'm just going to send this piece over to Rhizome on its own, just this bottom bit. I just want to check something. Where is it? I saw it. There it is. And I'm just going to get it to do a... Yeah, it should be fine. So that's okay. So I was only doing this as a test. I'm just going to close that. I don't want it to save it out. I want to reattach this. Actually, I want to attach select the original one and attach that and that. And now we're going to try sending this over to Rhizome. Try and find it again. There it is. And let's try and UV map it again. Oh, wrong one. And let's go with this bit. And then the bottom. The plug hole. I might just clean this up a little, even though this is all hidden underneath of the part of the sink. In fact, I'll do the inner ones, not the outer ones. We're going to have to leave one of them. Get it to do an optimize. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about stitching the outside ones because, again, you'll see what I mean when I unhide it. They're all hidden under the sink. It's only the inner ones we really see. Yeah, you see what I mean? Let's look at the tap. In fact, I might just... yeah, I might just stitch these as well. We don't want to stitch that one, or do we? No. Android Lost says to Sniper Girl, did you ever buy the camera you wanted? I think she has a Sony camera. She bought the mirrorless from memory. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. Phil often is. What am I doing? What am I doing? Going to do an optimize on that. Let's tackle the tap now. It's going to be interesting. Let's try pelt mapping. I think a pelt map will work for what we want. We have a seam, but it's running around the edge of the tap, so that should be okay. Let's do an optimize. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of stretching happening. Smurf says it does kind of sound like they use the GPU now more than they used to. He's got a link there to Agisoft. I wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they're constantly improving it, so yeah. I'll have to give it a go, actually. I'll have to check it out. Because when I did comparisons between context capture, reality capture, and Agisoft Metashape, I showed you guys the quality of the model differences between them, as well as did a comparison on speed. Reality capture was the fastest back then. This was, you know, over a year and a half, 2 years ago when we did this. Model-wise, I found context capture to give probably the nicest looking model from the test subject we did back then. So I found, as far as quality of model went, context capture was 1, reality capture was 2nd, and Agisoft was 3rd. As far as speed though, reality capture was 1, context capture was 2, 2nd, and Agisoft was 3rd. So I'll have to check them again because they're constantly improving it. So we do have a little bit of stretching here, but I think that'll be okay because the tap here is only going to be metal, so I don't think you're going to notice any stretching. It's going to be like stainless steel, so I think we should be all right. Android Lost says, I'm making a Fuji mirrorless camera in 3D for a little project. I have a Fuji camera. No, my old camera was Fuji. The new one's Leica. For a little project, I still don't fully know the difference between a mirrorless and a mirrored camera. Smith says, Bill, that tap looks like an upside down boot. It does. It does look like an upside down boot. See, if I put it this way, then it looks like a right side up boot. It's a boot. It's not a boot. Let's go out of isolation mode. Now I'm upside down. And so that just leaves that little bit there on the end. Let's try this one. And let's do some cleanup. And optimize it. Okay, let's send that back to max. And we're going to do a repack on the UVs. And textile density looks pretty even to me. I think we should be good. And now we can reattach the sink. Do I want to reattach it? Do I or don't I? Do I or don't I? I'm just thinking of, I'm wondering if I should keep that separate as a separate texture. Because this is quite a large piece of cabinet. And keeping this separate will allow me to add more detail to the actual sink itself. Yeah, I think I might keep that separate. Yeah, why not? Let's do a quick save though. Smurfberry says, what's this all about? We have a drawer here that we've forgotten, so let's do that. Back to Ryzen. Let's find it. There it is. Isolate it. Map it. And the handle. Let's clean it up. And optimize it. I think that's all of it done, so let's send it back to Max. And repack it. And assign the right texture. Okay, I think we've UV mapped everything now. I'm just going to double check. Make sure I haven't forgotten anything anywhere. We do want to make sure we do some packing on some of these pieces that I've forgotten about, like this cabinet door. Looks like this one is okay. Yep. That one's okay. That one's okay. That one is okay. They're all okay. Pretty sure everything else is okay. I think. Yep. Okay. Let's zoom out here so I get everything framed up. Yes, I know there is a button in Max here that will zoom out for you. So let's do a save. Oh, that sounds interesting though, Android Dust, doing a Fuji mirrorless camera in 3D. Andrew Dust says I got to go early today. Though I was late. Oh no, you were here tomorrow though. Okay, that's okay. As long as you'll be here tomorrow, we'll forgive you this time. See you later, Android Dust. Thanks for popping in, saying hi. I'll look for you tomorrow. Okay, so we've UV mapped all of that up, which is good. What are we going to do now? I need to do a curtain. So I think what we'll do is before we start, see what we've done is we've UV mapped the oven, we've UV mapped the fridge, we've UV mapped now the main kitchen cabinets. And what I'm going to do for the texturing of these cabinets is I'm going to keep them separate. So that will be one texture, that will be one texture. The bottom one will be one texture, and that will be one texture. And then of course the cupboards themselves, I know the textile density is different, but that's because we're keeping these separate so that we can turn them into interactable objects in the game. The drawers and the doors. And then we can reuse them. But I think what we'll do, what's left is like, depending on how much room we've got in the kitchen when we start putting this all together in the game engine, I want to have like an island bench, or like probably a stainless steel rectangular bench in the middle of the kitchen. I'm hoping we have enough room to move around it. We'll find out when we put these pieces in. So yeah, I still have to sort of come up and create that. And I also therefore would like to have something hanging from the ceiling that we have pots and pans hanging down from. But we'll tackle that soon. Once we get these pieces in, I'll know how much room we've got to work around, because we can't have it too crowded. The player has to be able to walk around into the kitchen. So depending on how much room we've got, we'll either have an island bench with pots and pans hanging from the ceiling above the bench. We're going to have the oven over there. We've got a window here, and we're going to have the fridge probably over here in this corner. But that means we need a curtain for the window. So I think what we might do is UV map the curtain, and then we can just start texturing up everything all at once. So we did a save. Let's open the curtain I've created. This one here, I believe. Yep. Now, even though this is a bit fancy for a kitchen curtain, why not? Why not? We'll make a fancier kitchen curtain. So I've separated this up into the different bits, and I think I'll keep them separate because it'll just be easier for us to UV map that way. I will probably attach everything and then pack the UV so we're only using one texture. But just at this stage, as we send it backwards and forwards, I'll keep them separate. Like, I may even decide to remove these from the model. I just don't know, that they might be a little bit too ornate for a kitchen. So like if we select this and I deselect these swirly bits here and I go into isolation mode, I just think that might be a little bit better for a kitchen curtain. Not quite as ornate. We could even get rid of the box border here around the top if we wanted to. But I quite like it, so. But I'll UV all of it, and then I'll decide before we start sending it to the game whether I want to include these swirly bits at the top. So let's start sending this over to Rhizome anyway. No, it needs to be an edit poly. And I'm just going to clean up the edges. And optimize. And let's just throw down a checker pattern. We'll go 30 by 30. Alright. Let's send this bit over. Pardon me. Okay. You know, a flattened mapping on this would probably work, but let's just see what Rhizome can do. I think maybe a pelt map is probably the best. You'll see we don't have polys on the back, just to save poly count a bit. See, for this one, there are no polygons on the back. You guys have seen when I've done any sort of any of the fabric in the game, I've always not added polys on the back facing part of the curtain that you never see. There is only one curtain in the game that does have polys on both sides, and that's because the player can actually move around the curtain. But generally, if it's something like up against the window, we always remove the polys from the other side. Dies of shock, Sniper Girl says. Let's send that back to Max. Throw down a checker pattern. Okay, what's next? Let's do these side bits, I guess. And I guess we can try the pelt again. Same deal, no back-facing polygons. Let's do a bit of an optimize. That should be fine. We are getting a little stretching here, but again, I don't think it'll be noticeable. I have a feeling that's hidden actually underneath of the top anyway. Let's send that back. Yeah, it's hidden under here anyway, so let's assign the checker. Let's do the swirly bits. Again, I guess we'll go with the pelt. Again, we have a little bit of stretching, but most of that's hidden, so it'll be fine. We really only see these bottom bits here. Okay, now these bits are going to be interesting to try and UV map, so before we tackle those, that's why I've left them till last. Let's do the edging. They're going to be difficult because they're all those little tassels. And for this one, I think we'll go with this unwrap. Yeah, that should be right. Let's do a quick save. I'll save it as revision 2. And let's tackle these tassels. And send it over. Now again, these tassels in the game engine, what I could do is I could just create one of them and then hardware instance it for all the rest of them, which I've done for the other curtains in the building. All the other curtains that have tassels, I have one that I've then hardware instanced all the way around the curtain edge. I'm not going to do it for this one because it's a lot of work for something like this, and probably not necessary because we're using what do they call it? The game is actually the way it's been designed now is we're loading in areas as you move in and out of them. So before, when we were trying to load everything in the game engine at once, it was using, you know, a lot of texture memory, a lot of polygons on screen at one time. The way the game engine has been, the way we're working now is each room is sort of loaded and unloaded as you move in and out from it, or before you get to it and after you leave it. So poly counts and textures aren't so much of an issue. It's all being completely unloaded from memory and reloaded into memory. But if you really, really wanted to save, you probably would just create one of these and then hardware instance it for the entire curtain. I mean, it'd be a pain to set up, but that'd be the best way to go. Level streaming. Thank you, Sniper Girl. Phil's brain not working. Phil's old brain not working. Level streaming. That's exactly right. Because we're doing level streaming. So yeah, I want to point that out that usually you would make each of these, you'd hardware instance them. That'd be the best way to go. Instead of having them all as one mesh like this. You'd reduce your poly count quite a bit. And it would load in and out of memory much more quickly because it'd be done on the GPU. So. Zulu Card, hello to you. How are you? Hope you're well. And I want to thank the Artelian for the follow. Thank you for following the channel. Welcome to Phil Does 3D. My apologies for not noticing sooner. So welcome the Artelian. And yes, Zulu Card, hello to you too. Okay, the best way to UV these. This will be interesting. You know, the best way for me to do this is going to be, it's going to be a nightmare. Is probably going to be for me to try and UV map these separately instead of trying to get the program to do them all at once. I really think it's going to have a problem. Yeah, I think we're going to have to. I mean, I hate having to do these one by one, but I really think that's probably going to be the best way. Once we choose the right unwrapping for one of them though, it'll be the same for all of them. Let's try a different unwrap. Nope. Nope. Oh, bugger. Bugger. I don't know that we're really going to get a better unwrap than probably the pelt. Yeah, I think even though we're getting some stretching, Zulu Card says level streaming. Yep. I was Zulu Card that said level streaming as well. My apologies, Zulu Card. I didn't notice that you said it above Sniper Girl. Zulu Card says I'm good, thanks. Watching some art before I start work. Cool. Well, it's good to watch people do art. It's good to do art yourself though too. Yeah, not really. We're getting some stretching happening here. I'm just going to see if I can't undoing this a few times. I think the pelt was probably the best unwrap we were going to get on it though. Yeah, because we're still going to get stretching with this unwrap as well, so... And remember, it's going to be... These tassels are really quite small on the model, so... The player is never going to get this close to it to notice that it's, we're getting a bit of stretching happening. So I think we can get away with it. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And Sniper Guy, so you pop the tree scan, processed in Metashape. Okay, so you've done one in Metashape and you've done one in Reality Capture. I want to look at both of them. We'll do a comparison. We'll do that soon. I want to look at the stuff you guys posted in the Phil Does 3D Discord. But from what I can see, you are right. It does look, just at a glance, like the Metashape version does look pretty nice. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll go with the pelt map for these tassels. Now we're just going to go through them one by one. Actually, let's see if we can't speed it along a little bit. Let's see if we can select a few. We'll see how well the program does. It's not too bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not too bad. So I won't get it to do them all at the same time, but I will select more than one at a time. And we'll go from there. Because otherwise we'll be here all day. Four, 5, 6. We're doing 6 at a time. Probably the quietest spell's ever been for a while, isn't it? And concentrating. Not that there's much to concentrate on here. Okay. Let's move down to these side ones. Sniper Girl says, yeah, I was shocked, was looking for a 5-minute silence. I was actually thinking about something else, to be honest, thinking about another problem at work. So I'm doing 3D and thinking about a different 3D problem. Oh, it's getting warm again. And this here, because you guys know it's middle of, well, it's summertime here in Australia, so the weather's getting quite warm. You guys know how much I hate the warm weather. I live in the wrong country. I want to live where it snows. It does snow here, but only in winter and only up in the mountains, usually. So I'm really jealous of you guys that live in areas where it snows. Looks like I might have forgotten one of these straight bits from the edging from the other one. That's okay. Like I grouped all of the edging together as one thing, and it looks like I may have forgotten one. I think two. Looks like I may have forgotten two. So let's select them. Isolate. And for this one, we'll just use this one. Okay, I think that's everything. I don't think I've forgotten anything. So let's send that back to Max. And I'm just going to throw it in an edit poly. And select those two edge pieces that should not be grouped with the tassels. And let's detach them. And select them. And we want to group those with these edges, so I'm just going to go into isolation mode. Edit, poly, attach. And we're going to do a repack on the UVs. Did I pack these? No, I didn't. So I'm just going to make sure I do a pack on all of these as well. That one. This one, even though this doesn't really need a repack. And this one I don't think needs a pack, because it's only one mesh. Yep. And same with these, I don't think these need a pack. Nope. And then the tassels, they need to be packed. And we need to assign the checker pattern. Alright, now, how do I want to texture this up so I know how I want to pack it? I think, like normally I'd attach all of these together as one, so we have just one texture map. Might be the best way to go. let's do a quick save, and then I might do an attach, and then we can save as a new revision. Save, a Zulu card says, yes, I just saved. Maxo Friendo, hi to you as well. Maxo Friendo, good to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you had a good weekend. Sniper Girl says, totally not spamming Discord with images. See what you've got going on there. We will check those out soon, actually. Yeah. It's good to see you, Maxo Friendo. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do here is we've saved this version, which is all separate. Because I was just trying to decide whether I wanted to include these in the kitchen curtains or not. I mean, I'm just thinking when we come to texturing now that having these might look interesting, because we have the box at the top, the frame, and then we have the main curtains behind it, and then we have these two side curtains. So having these swirly bits at the top might look interesting when we texture it up, to separate out the frame, the boxed top, from the back of the curtain. Again, normally this sort of curtain is probably a bit too ornate for a kitchen, but it could look cool. I think having these swirly bits, and if we wanted to make it less ornate, we could remove the swirly bits. We're still posting stuff in the Discord. I see all these images going up in the Discord gallery from Sniper Girl. We'll keep them in, and we'll decide once we start texturing. So I'm just going to collapse the stack and attach all these bits together now. Match your material to material ID, and I'm pretty sure that's everything. I'm just going to move the model and make sure, and it is. But that does mean we need to do another pack. So our textile density is all even. I'll give Max a minute to work that out. And now we should be good. So we can just use the one texture. We don't have polys on the back, which is good. Ooh, I knew I forgot something. I want to use material colors, vertex coloring, so that we can separate the texture up when we bring it into Substance Painter. So let's see how easy we can get this done. I should have done that probably before I attached everything. That's the only reason I'm saying maybe I should have waited. So I'm going to collapse the stack. We did make a save before we did this, so that's fine. So this is going to be a color. So let's make this one, I don't know, let's make it a red. I'm just going to turn vertex coloring on as well so I can see what I've done.
Oh, I'm intoxicated. I got a legend on the way.
And then the main back curtain, let's make that a blue. We'll make it a purple, why not? And then we have the two side pieces. Let's make them their own color and make them an aqua. And then we have the swirly bits. Let's make them, I don't know, a green. And then that will leave the edging. I knew I was going to have a problem here. Okay, let's do this. I rewatched a Let's Play of Uncharted. Or was it Uncharted 2 or 3? I can't remember. The one with the two female characters as the lead characters in the game. It was really good. I'd watched a Let's Play before. I can't play it unfortunately because it's like a PlayStation exclusive, but beautiful. Naughty Dog, of course. Beautiful, beautiful environments. Really nicely done. And it was a great game. I would have loved to have played it. Unfortunately, I couldn't, but I really just enjoyed watching a Let's Play of it again. Okay, I think that's all of the piping, so let's make that a different color. Let's make it, I don't know what colors are left. Let's make it a really dark purple. Yeah, let's go like that. And then that just leaves the tassels. I think the tassels are white, so we can, as a colour, so we can leave them white. It saves me having to select them all. It's a real pain. Alright, so we're going to save this as version 3. Good. How are we going for time? Alright, let's have a look at some of the work you guys have posted in the Discord server, I think. So, I'm going to start by... Okay, Sniper Girl has posted in the general one of the grass images from the trial scan. Grass was semi-saturated still from snow. Redest Rabbit, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it. So welcome Redest Rabbit to Phil Does 3D, and thank you for following. My apologies if I've mispronounced your username. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm looking at the image actually that you posted, Sniper Girl, of the grass that you were trying to do the photogrammetry on, and I could see why the software might have a problem doing the camera orientation, because all of the grass is very similar, so it will have a problem trying to work out the alignment for the cameras from images like that. Those render targets that I told you about would help with that, and also photographing it at more of an angle.
Are you ready?
But as far as the water goes, I don't see water on there. That's strange. It shouldn't have a problem with reflection on that. That looks fine from that point of view. Maxo Friendo says, hello Friendo Rabbit. Yes, hello Friendo Rabbit. Remember guys, if you've ever got any questions while I'm working, feel free to pop into chat and ask me. Don't think you'll be ever interrupting me. It's the whole point of me being on Twitch is to chat with you guys. And to encourage you guys to do 3D stuff yourself. But I want to look at some of the stuff you guys have posted, and to look at the work you guys make too, which is why if you want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord, thank you Hellforge, click that link Hellforge has just popped into Twitch chat, because there's a gallery section where you can show up your work. I mean, if you're just a person that likes to watch other people do art, then that's fine. I mean, that's cool. But if you do 3D or art yourself, then feel free to pop an image in the Discord gallery, because I love looking at the stuff you guys make. I'm going to jump back here and have a look at, let's start with this tree. I want to do a comparison between the two pieces of software. Sniper Girl has been doing some photogrammetry work on a tree. So this first one was done in Reality Capture, which is the software I use as well. And the second one here was done in the new version of Metashape, Agisoft Metashape. So I'm just going to do a comparison between these two. Hang on, didn't copy the link. Let's try that again. Okay, so this one is Reality Capture. And this one is Edgy Soft Meta Shape. First thing that I'm noticing straight off the bat is the sharpness of the bark. Like, yeah, the sharpness in the bark compared to reality capture. Like, the bark is a bit blurred. It's not really blurred, but you know what I mean. Whereas it looks like they've done like a sharpening on the texture here in this one. So I like the bark on this one better. Yeah, it almost looks like the quality of the... She's used the same photo sets, so it should be identical, but it looks like the photographs used in reality capture are lower resolution than the ones used in Metashape, but I have a feeling what's going on here is Metashape is doing a sharpen on the final texture to bring up the details, and I have to agree, I like the detail in this one. In Edgy Soft Metashape, I do like that. Actually, quite nice. Redest Rabbit says, hi Max and Phil. Hi to you as well. Welcome to Phil Does 3D, Redest Rabbit. It sounds like you need some coffee. I think I do. Hang on, Sniper Girl says Smurfberry posted it. The texture is much sharper in the Metashape one. Yeah, it is. And she's saying the same photos were used for both. And you can see the difference here between the... but I think what's going on here is I don't know that the... It's hard to say. I think the model itself is probably about the same. Both programs have created the model about... They're both about the same. But Metashape has probably run a sharpen over the texture. So that's the reason it's looking cleaner. Having said that, I do like this one better than this one. It's a cleaner, nicer looking model and texture. So I'm impressed. I'm going to have to reinstall Metashape and check it out. Because yeah, I'm impressed with that. It does look good. Very good. I agree. Looks better. But I think the main reason is because it's done a sharpen on the texture, really. Yeah. Still, very nice. Sniper Girl says, I was surprised. Took much longer for Metashape to process the image. It was worth it. Yeah, see, this is why I thought reality capture is GPU accelerated, which is why I love it. Because it gets the job done really quickly. It's accelerated through all the stages, whereas I have a feeling Metashape is accelerated but only through some of the stages. So I'd be surprised unless they've changed something if it was quicker or as quick as reality capture. Having said that though, I do like the result. So it's a trade-off. I'd be prepared to put up with a bit longer processing time to get a better result though. But I have a feeling if you were to sharpen the texture that you got from this one, from reality capture, you'd get a result looking similar to this anyway, because I think that's all they've done. They've done some processing on the software has just done some processing on the texture map. Does look good though. Zulu Card's asking how many images. Sniper Girl says for that 2 seconds, only 79 images. It is actually good. Yeah, I agree. For 79 images, that's pretty good. It's very good, actually. Nice. Maxo Friendo says, hey Phil, her name is Redest Rabbit. She's the Redest Rabbit in the... Reddest Rabbit. Is that how am I supposed to be pronouncing it? Reddest Rabbit. My apologies, Reddest Rabbit. I'm terrible with everyone's usernames though. Don't feel like I'm singling you out. They will tell you I'm terrible with your usernames. Reddest Rabbit. You must remind me that's how to pronounce it next time you pop into chat. Because I'll forget. No, yeah. I do want to check out also, where are we? I see that Smurf here, you've been showing some images of your UV mapping. The colour red, yeah. No problem, Maxo Friendo. Reddest Rabbit, I will remember Reddest Rabbit. It's true, most red. I was worried about correct. No, don't you ever, guys, come on, guys and girls, don't ever feel like you shouldn't correct me, because Sniper Girl does it all the time. It's fine, you can correct me. Never fear, Phil won't get offended. So correct me, I need to be taught. Pardon me. Sniper Echo says it's true, Phil still called me Dave. That's right, no idea why. Oh yeah, I see Smurfer has popped some images of his UV maps in the Discord. He was complaining about the UV mapping only using the bottom half of his square for his texture map. I do want to show Gary's work. Gary's worked on something that he's done in the Unreal Engine in UE4. Very nice. Lovely. I like the texturing. I like the stylized look of it too. It's got that painterly look to it. Texturing has got that painterly look, which is very nice. The colour composition is really nice as well. And Gary was saying that he likes the Japanese culture. Yeah, looks beautiful. What's the video? Just gonna pause the audio. Very nice. And again, yeah, I really like that painterly textured look. Looks really cool. You know, this reminds me so much. I worked on a game called Looney Tunes for Warner Brothers years ago. And the design style, the painterly style, reminds me so much of that game, because this was the style it was done in, that we did it in. Beautiful, beautiful work though. And here we have a bit of a breakdown of some of the assets. It's good, blocking it out here, which is cool. Nice modelling work as well. Modelling and texturing work. Lovely. Yeah, really lovely. Very nice work, Gary. Smurf says it's aesthetically displeasing to not use as much UV space as possible. Well, that's true. You know, you want to use as much UV space as possible because that'll give your textures a higher resolution and they'll look better. Sometimes it can't be helped though. If you want to keep the textile density correct, you're going to sometimes just either have to go, you know, for a rectangular texture instead of a square one. It's probably the easiest way. Yeah, so lovely work, Gary. I really like it. I love the colours, I love the look. The modelling and texturing is beautifully done. Really nicely done. Thanks for letting me show it, Gary, as well. Thanks for posting it in the Discord. And I also want to, Wax Kink is working on a model it's to be printed for a buddy. So I'm assuming 3D printed, perhaps. He didn't really say. And again, I love the design. I love the design, and the modelling is nicely done. So yeah, the design of it's really interesting. I'm not sure what it is though. What do you guys think this is? Is it a staff? Is it, what is it? Yeah, because he doesn't actually say. Wax Kink, tell me what it is if you're in the chat. So he just says it made this to be printed for a buddy. Sniper Girl says that's freaking amazing. I'm sure she's talking about this. It is beautiful work. Beautiful, beautiful. Sniper Ricker says Smurf and Unreal sometimes use space like that for some decals that I want on the model, and then sample the texture and remap the coordinates on the mesh. I get high quality decals without the use of another texture. Well, there you go. That's a good tip from Sniper Echo. Maxo Friender says nice. Zulu Card says a sword. Oh, you think it's a sword? Oh yeah, no, I think you're right. You are correct. I think it is a sword. I'm looking at it the wrong way around. Still, I really like the design. It's really, really interesting. It'll make a great printout, like 3D print. Sniper Girl says, looks like a keyblade. Yeah, when you said sword, I can see the sword sort of here, but yeah, he must jump back in and tell us what it is. Is it a sword? Is it something else? But I could see how it does look a bit like a sword, but it seems strange having all these bits off the end of a sword. But anyway, why not? Why not? Sniper Girl says it looks like it's a Kingdom Hearts style weapon. I don't play Kingdom Hearts, so I don't know. Dudacard says, yep. Smurf says this is going into an old ass game engine and I don't want to finagle with manual DXT35 whatever DDS exports for a trim sheet with alphas. It's not hard. There's a plugin you can use to get it to export to DXT or DDS now. The Unreal Engine does it automatically for you. You don't need to worry about it with Unreal. You just import whatever, and I generally work in PNGs or Targas when I'm working with Unreal, and it will do a compression once you do a compile. So if you're working with a game engine like Unreal, you don't have to worry about it, but you can get plugins and stuff if you use Photoshop to export as a DXT compressed format. But I get why you don't want to mess with it. Sniper Girl says, "Wow." Smurfery says it's not going into Unreal. Okay, I've been schooled and told. That's literally the first half of the sentence. Ooh, yo. I have been told by Smurfberry Barbecue. There you go. Phil's reading comprehension not so good. And Sniper Girl says, yep. Sniper Girl says, gotcha. Well, even if you scale down the UVs a bit, you should be able to pack it easily enough. Well, I won't show you your UVs now, Smurfery, on the stream. You're being so rude. What's he say here? Left side of the main hull. Let's have a look at one of his UVs. So these are some UVs that Smurfery is creating for a submarine. What's going on here? What's this over here? Why aren't these packed up, say, in here? I see we've got two UV shells here. A 0 to 1 space. And we've even got a couple over here. Smith says that's mostly periscope stuff that I haven't packed in yet. Ah, okay. Cool. Yeah, see, the problem that Smurfer is talking about with the UVs not taking up the entire 0 to 1 space here in the square texture is because of the shape of the submarine, obviously, which we're going to look at here. So you're always going to have a problem packing the whole space because of the shape of the object to keep the textile density correct. Yeah, it's always going to be an issue. You know, having said that, you really should try and keep textile density the same. You don't have to though. You can make some parts a higher textile density if you want to. Like if you want to have a bit more detail going on, say on the nose of the sub, you could increase the textile density on that to take up more of your texture space if you wanted to. Select parts, if you did it, you wouldn't notice the difference in textile density substantially. So sometimes it pays if you want to add a bit more detail on some things to increase the textile density just on those things that you think could benefit from having a more detailed part of the texture. So, but I get why it's proving difficult to map to a square, because yeah, see the body of the sub is quite large compared to the rest of it. So yes, Smurf is saying this here is the periscope, the snorkel, the radio direction finder, all the stuff that goes on top of the conning tower. I'm assuming this stuff up here, because I don't know military lingo at all. Nice, yes. That's looking cool. It's nice and evenly mapped, Smurf, so that's looking good. Smurf says, yeah, I think all that stuff will have more density because there's extra space to spare. They're thin tubes pieces which would make them hard to texture anyway. I agree. I think adding a bit more textile density to these bits up here to use some of the spare space you have here will be a good way to go, because it'll allow you to put more detail there. And you won't notice the difference in textile density between the body and these bits here and here, maybe even on the end of the propeller blade sort of thing. I think it sounds like a good plan. Now what else have you posted here, Sniper Girl? So you posted something about road crack, major hole in the mesh, ready. Some more photogrammetry work. We loves the photogrammetry on Phil Does 3D. You guys know I specialise in that with the ArchViz studio I work with. Nice, very nice. Okay, and this is a brick wall that she's worked on. Again, all photogrammetry stuff here. Nice. Again, photogrammetry though for things like this brick wall is probably a bit of overkill. You'll get a nice, you just using a texture map and using a normal will give you a nice brick wall, because I'm assuming that's going to be quite high polygon as a photogrammetry mesh. Looks good. Not going to deny it looks good. And this is sidewalk bumps. I had a few holes in the mesh texture that Metashape filled in. Did such a good job that I honestly couldn't point out where they were. So what have we got here? Nice. So this is the side of the road. Is this like a footpath? It's a weird looking footpath. It is. It's like a metal grate or something. I see the screw holes. Sniper Girl says brick wall, the road cracks and the sidewalk bumps. Going to bake it down. Oh, okay. Going to bake everything down. Is this what is this a metal grate or something? What is this? Because I see the screw holes, but it just seems to go on and on. So is this like metal grating on the sidewalk or something? It's a rubber-like material. Oh, okay. So is this the sidewalk, the bit you walk on, or is this like next to the sidewalk? Because that looks like the bit of the road there. And so like there's a whole sidewalk covered in these metal rubber things. Because I've just never seen a sidewalk like that before. Our sidewalks are just cement, like here. Sniper Girl says in the US they're often right before roadways. Oh, okay, mostly due to help for a texture difference for blind people. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good idea. Yeah, no, all of our footpaths are just all cement. I was just curious as to what it was because I've never seen anything like that before. Like, we have something similar to this on train stations. Along the edge of the train station, the platform before the tracks, they put this rubber. It looks very similar to that. And that's supposed to indicate you're not supposed to go past this part of the platform. You're not supposed to get any closer to the edge of the platform. Sniper Echo says, isn't that pattern used by blind people to aid vision? There you go. Yes, Sniper Girl says, or movement even. But as far as the photogrammetry goes, very nicely done. And again, I think Sniper Girl says this has all been done in Metashape. So I will have to check out Metashape again. And again, if anyone is curious as to what we're talking about, I'm just going to add G-Soft Meta Shape. And I probably hit a few keys there I shouldn't have. Add G-Soft Meta Shape. This is the software that we're talking about. I'll pop a link in Twitch chat just for anyone that might be interested to check it out. You do have to pay for it, but so photogrammetry software. I tend to use one called Reality Capture, but I want to check out. I do have a license for Metashape, so I will check out the new version because I am quite impressed with the results that Sniper Girl has gotten from her photos. Anyway, I'm well over time. We'll leave it there for today. I do want to thank you guys and girls very much for being here and hanging out with me and for watching. I do appreciate it. Remember, I am live every Monday and Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States, which means I'll be back on again tomorrow at 5 p.m. That's midday in Australia, or around 1 a.m. if you're in the UK. You're quite welcome. Thank you guys. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. You guys and girls take care. See you guys.